Hello, hello. We are live and we
Yay.
are so happy.
Yeah,
So today is a
definitely.
very, very important day, right?
Yes,
And we
it
are
is.
here. This is Elena Buriani from Leah Growing People. I'm the co-founder of this HR consulting and coaching company. But I'm also a leadership and a team coach. And I have together with me Rikke today. I'm so happy. Is one of the first member of Leah community. So it's almost, I think maybe 5 or 6 years we are together in this journey.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm
Hmm.
super, super excited. Thank you for being here, Rikke.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
That's so cool. So I know Reggae pretty well, and I think she knows me inside out, being also my yoga teacher, my business coach, my life coach, my best friends. I cannot, that the list can go on and on. But other people out there that don't know you as much. So would you like to introduce a little bit about yourself and what brought you to be the person I've chosen today to speak about mental health?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Alina, for this question. I'm in my early 50s now, so I have a long career ahead of me. I'm an electronic engineer from my youth. I worked in Denmark. And then in the beginning of my 30s, I was a mom of 3 kids, and I got an opportunity with my husband to move to Dubai in 2006. And that was also an opportunity for me to start over. It was like getting a white piece of paper and then being able to redefine myself. And I was now it is Mental Health Day, so um, I was really struggling. I didn't know it. I didn't have the vocabulary as an engineer on how to talk about mental health, but I was definitely feeling it as a mom and having a career and doing it all. And I couldn't figure out what was missing. I was really stressed out at the time. So for me, it was a great opportunity to start over. And I've decided I wanted to be happy. So I wrote a thesis on happiness. And that's probably also one of the reasons why you invited me today, is because that is definitely one of my passions. And that opened up a whole new world for me. One thing that became very clear is if you want to be happy or talk about happiness, you also have to be able to talk about unhappiness or the mental challenges that can be stopping us from being happy, which is we will talk a little more about today.
Yes,
And that,
that's
yeah,
key. That's
yes.
key.
And that I became a life coach. I didn't even know that existed before I started the journey myself in 2008. I've been working with that for over 10 years. I also had my own company. But then after I had to move to Denmark and back, I closed it down. So now I'm 100% with Leah. And yes, which I'm enjoying very much. I love the energy of this company. It's really something that supports me. It's very different from having being alone. There's so much synergy when we're working together. So
It's
I'm
true.
really
It's
happy with
so
this
true.
decision.
And
Yeah.
well, I can also
And
share.
can
Yeah,
I
of
just say
course.
that I also became a yoga teacher in 2020, which I'm really excited about, and that I'm working as a yoga teacher now, and it brings a new dimension to mental health and coaching, because we are not a body and a mind. No, they're interconnected 100%. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely,
so
and I want definitely acknowledge, all the process you have been going through to become a yoga teacher, to become my yoga teacher. Despite I have a past as a professional dancer, as a Pilates instructor, a Qigong instructor, I think it's really beautiful to embrace yoga the way you have embraced it, with this additional value of being also a coach and such an expert in happiness. It's a fantastic mix, and it makes an amazing experience, for the yogi joining you in your session. And
it's also, but it's interesting that the physical is definitely your strength, Elena. Well, you're very good at listening to your body. You have been a dancer, Pilates instructor, and then you've been interested in the mental part. And I'm the opposite. I was like more brainy. Let me read something. Let me study something. Well, you do that of course too. And then I'm fine. Okay, I'm missing a piece. I'm missing the physical piece, and then it all comes together. So yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely, and it's beautiful when you can merge the two and definitely at service on our mental health, because this is really the topic of today. So what is mental health in a nutshell? Because we are talking about it, but what is it?
Yeah, so I know we have a slide on it. Shall I just talk about it, or are you also showing it? Yeah. So, but we mental health can be good or bad. We all have a mentality. We all have a way of being. If we have good mental health, we have a healthy mind, and that means that we can bounce back when things happen, and we have a good outlook on life. And we can have a balance, so we can have fun, we can also work, and you can call it resilience. Like we can handle whatever life throws at us in general, and we can still have a bad day and a good day with strong mental health. So
it's important what you have said about the outlook. A good outlook, synonymous of a good mental health. It doesn't matter how much we're struggling, but still we know that it's all kind of belonging to a process we're meant to go through. But we still can be positive when we look out there in a middle and long run. But then I guess there's also poor mental health, right?
Yes. But I would say when you have good mental health, you also have an understanding of how fast you can go. So sometimes it's about not taking on too much. But understanding, okay, this is my limit, and then I'm gonna stay here with my good mental health, and instead of like crossing over to doing too much. But yes, if we look at mental health, when we have poor mental health, there will be a lot of negative thoughts. And interestingly enough, when all this negativity comes in with I'm not good enough, I should have done better, basically even shame, you can say, like I'm just not a good enough person, and that also creates poor physical health, because how your body will feel the cortisol. So you might be really stressed out of something. Why can't I get up in the morning and get dressed? Why am I staying here in bed? And the body picks up on the cortisol, which is the hormones in the body, and that can create diseases. And there's now proof that when we have this negative outlook, we can get chronic illnesses. So those chronic illnesses are maybe also a warning that we have to look at our mental health. And those illnesses can be like diabetes, asthma, cancer, cardiovascular disease, and arthritis. So these are not small things. These are big things. Unfortunately, one of the things that also are the main reasons that we die or don't make it here.
Yeah, so, and then sometimes you enter into a chronic illness circle where your mental health can cause illnesses, and while you are sick, your mental health is even getting worse because you are stressed about the illness itself. So it's feeding one into the other, and it can really become a dead road in that vicious circle. Okay, that's a very good definition. And what you define is that there's good and poor, but still the mental health is with us and go pretty much together with everything that we are. So how do we, according to you, how do we know if we have mental health problem?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, looking at this, I think that it's important to see if is it sadness or depression, for instance. So you have a mental illness if you are really sad or really in a bad mood for 2 weeks or more, where it is really difficult to even get up and pull yourself together. You might have suicidal thoughts. You have and you can feel the spiral down for no particular reason. So for a normal person to get sad, something sad happens. Like I don't know
Yeah, a
what's a
cause and
normal
an effect. There is something that
exactly.
makes me sad, and it's logic, let's say.
Yes. A beloved pet dies, or you have to a very good friend moves away, or something that can create what I call a normal life crisis, which we are supposed to be able to handle. And yeah, we will be sad and it will be stressed, but we will work our way through it and it will get better. Where depression is an ongoing state. And that is also the way the body is built. The body is built to let's run away from that tiger, or let's fight that bear, and then let's rest. Whew, we made it. Let's calm down and regain our strength, and then we go again. But in a depression, you feel like you're being attacked by that bear all the time, and there's never rest. And that's where it becomes dangerous.
Or that you are so scared to face the bear that you lock yourself in a cave and you don't move,
Yes.
You don't stand up, you don't meet people, you don't go to work, you don't
No.
speak. So it
No.
could be an extent, the flight or fight, or the other one that you get completely frozen. And
Yes.
I also have been hearing that about mental health. Sometimes there's also a little bit of confusion about the healthy anxiety, let's say, versus the anxiety disorders. What's the difference between the two? Because those anxiety disorder is a big mental health problem.
Yeah. Yes, so I would say a healthy anxiety is again something where there's a reason to be scared. Like a thing that a lot of people have anxiety about is public speaking, for instance. Or it can be heights, or it can be airplanes, or dentists, or something. So, and that can be something that you can regulate. You can think, okay, is this really dangerous? Will I really die if I walk on this bridge? And then you can say, okay, this is a high quality bridge. So even though I'm up very high, I'm probably going to survive, and you can walk through it. With an anxiety disorder, it's a medical condition, and you can get an anxiety attack for no reason. And it keeps going for a long time. And again, it can create I'm not good enough to live. I'm just a burden for everyone else. And it just creates this shame and guilt and hopelessness. And then
It's
it's a
really
disorder.
when you're in an anxiety disorder that all the way you think, you feel, you behave, it's completely different from what you would love to do. You really face major changes when is an healthy anxiety. And this makes me laugh because I'm the person that it's driven by healthy anxiety. I like doing things last minutes when the deadline is that close, because it gives me that energy and that fuel that make me perform better, being more clear, more lucid, more creative, more innovative. But I also know they're a type of person that really needs a lot of time to plan, forecast, project, and maybe the healthy anxiety for them is being in that moment, they've been waiting for so long. But anxiety disorder is definitely different from that. It's something that it's not linked to a specific occasion, but it stays, and it stays for long, and it's severe, and it really blur, the way you see life in front of you.
And it's
So
also something you cannot just say, hey, just snap out of it, or just feel the fear and do it anyway, or that. No, this is a different beast that you're working with. It's like if you're in a car crash and you break your leg, nobody's going to say, hey, just go out, run. You just need to run a little more. It will be fine. No, you need to first go to the hospital and get that help and support, and your leg has to grow back together. And it's the same with mental disorders. It has to be taken seriously, and it has to be taken care of. And it's extremely difficult to do alone, if not impossible. There is no just sucking it up and doing it. You need help from your society and your family and people around you
I
if
think
you
that
want
this,
to
what you're
improve.
saying, it's really leading me to the following question, which is, what do we do with a breakdown? I mean, when we are in this situation of depression, on anxiety disorder, when everything it's blurring up, and we do not recognize ourselves in that situation, sometimes.
Exactly. So that's when we talk about mental health, it's a huge topic. And if you have a breakdown, or someone in your family or someone at your workplace really breaks down, you need to take action. And if you live in Dubai, now I know that Facebook can be all over the world, but you and I are in Dubai right now. There is actually an psychiatric emergency hospital. It's Rashid Hospital. I even have the phone number here. If you know somebody who needs help right now, it's 042192000. And you can Google it. You can find it very easily.
219
2 and then 3 zeros at the end. So 2000. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and this is like if you have someone who is considering suicide, or doesn't see a reason to live anymore, or really acts out, or you can't get them to react, then reach out for help. Don't try and fix it yourself. But then thank God there's a lot of steps before that happens. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about stress and so on lately. And it was so funny because today there was a lady who's not a coach. She was talking about how you really have to like smash into the pavement and really suffer and hit rock bottom before you really understand that the life you're living is not the right way for you, and you need to change things. And yes, that is one way of doing it. But there are a lot of other. In my opinion, you don't need to hit that hard rock bottom. What you can do is you can start listening to yourself. In a modern society, myself included, I was living a lot in my head, not listening very much to my body. And when you're young, you can do that for years, where you just like power through, just run around and do whatever you want without. And then if you have a headache, you pop a pill. You have knee pain, it doesn't really matter. You just walk anyway. Because you need to get that promotion. You need to do that at work, and you're really just focusing on the results, and without listening to your body. And this is what we just talked about, how the physical diseases, like, do you want to wait till you get cancer to start to make a new decision, or get a heart attack? Or would you start listening to your body today, right now, and see, how is my body? I can feel my body right now. I'm getting a little angry. I'm like, wake up, people! Like, start listening to your body. This is apparently something I'm passionate about. So right now, like, take a breath and feel, how are you feeling, and be honest with yourself, because you're not, even if it's embarrassing, even if it's shameful, you're not doing anyone any favors by lying to yourself. And you are definitely gonna cut your life shorter at the end if you have that trauma and you're not dealing with it. But the good news is that there are lots of ways to check in. So we started with the worst. So can I say a little more about this and how to?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have already mentioned very important topic, which is first listen to your body. I mean, and allow yourself also to feel it, how much down
Yes.
you are,
Yes.
or really to name it sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
to
Exactly.
face the truth.
Yeah.
The truth. And then another thing that you have mentioned is definitely important is also name it for yourself, but also
Mm.
name it and name it out. Because I've seen from my personal experience that I have, 3 years of postnatal depression, that I've had,
Also a big
depression when
taboo.
I was very
You're supposed to
small.
be happy when you get a baby, right? You're not supposed to have a depression.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
shame on you. You have a
Yeah.
baby and you are
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
But I was suffering of panic attack. I was suffering of bulimia, and it's extremely important to speak that out, because you don't know what the other people are going through, or
No.
what other tools other people have, as long as you don't share, because
Mm.
there's a blame onto this
Yeah.
topic. It's still a taboo to talk about mental
Yeah.
health issue. But actually, if you allow yourself to name it and claim it, you realize that we all have the same blame and shame. And it's
Yeah.
time. It's literally time to let it go, because
It is.
it's not
Yeah.
serving anybody to pretend that things are going fine and
No.
wearing a mask every day. You either
Yeah.
have two options, or you don't go out, so you are not asked to play that character, or you end by wearing a mask and pretend the entire
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah.
And this is exhausting. So this is extremely,
Yes.
extremely important. And I guess you were start saying something about, what is that we can do to prevent mental
Yes.
health.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
one thing is to get there, and maybe also realize when it's too late that you have mental health issue, because of your problem, because of your performances reducing, because your relationship with people changing, because of your wardrobe changing, before you have your images changing at the look, at the mirror, and so far, so on. But as you said, we can even work priorly and avoid this from happening.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yes. So of course, and again, it depends on where on the scale you are. Like you can go to the emergency room, you can contact a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a coach right away to get that support and get help. And when you were talking about what a lot of people do today is masking it, like we just put on that mask and they'll say, "How are you today?" "I'm fine. How are you?" And then we move on. And it would be great to be in a society where it's like, "I'm having a terrible day today," and then people could say, "I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better," and just be in that space and just let it be there. Wouldn't that be interesting? And the funny part is that it's a part of the road to happiness is that having authenticity, and authenticity is not always pretty. It's not always doesn't fit into to that box or where we're supposed to be. So it takes bravery, and it takes to speak up. And there's a reason why there's a mental health day now. Is because it's been a taboo, and because it has a huge influence on people's lives, and therefore also on the whole society and the whole world. It costs a lot of money. It's creating difficult lives. So by being brave and speaking up about it, you are making
And
a
there's
difference.
also another beautiful things that now came into mind, which is, well, you can stay with this shame and with the mask on, but do you want, if you are a parent, your kids to do the same in the future? Or
Mm,
do you want, if you are a leader, your reports to do the same in the future? So it's
hmm.
also about role modeling,
Yes,
because
yes,
if we start talking about it, we're actually showing our kids that it's okay to talk about it. And
yes,
if we are leaders and we talk about it, we show our reports and our organization that it's okay to talk about it, which means that they will teach the same, or they will preach the same to their people when they become leader or when they become parents. So actually, we need to be brave, because we have a duty. If we don't want to do it for ourselves, we need at least to do it for our children, because I can assure you, and you know better than me, because your kids were, 3 of them teenagers during COVID, how much COVID has influenced them, and how much the influence on their mental health were also on their body. I know so many friends that have kids with suicidal thoughts, or that they stop eating, or eating too much, or not willing to go out with friends, or not interested in anything anymore. What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? What do you want to become when you've been a grown-up? I don't know. I'm lost. They are lost completely. So
it's the new pandemic.
Absolutely, yes. There's the great resignation in the corporates, and in the school, there's the great career loss, so they don't know. They literally don't know. So we have the
it's an opportunity to look at a new way of doing things.
You're right. It's a great opportunity, when, if we look at the past in the history, we have been given to speak, the possibility to speak up with a reason, now we have a kind of a reason. So many things are happening, and then the COVID and the war and whatever. We have so many reasons. So it's definitely an opportunity. And thank you for bringing this word on the table, because it is. And this is actually also a strategy and a prevention tool, learning how to see opportunities in the challenges, or as you said, the happiness within the unhappiness. A moon wouldn't be a moon if there were not a dark sky. So
or a sun. Yeah,
absolutely. So this definitely could be one of the prevention action that we could take. Learn how to see opportunities.
There are like fairy tales and a lot of stories about, like, if you can put light on the problem, like, or on the monster, in 90% it just disappears. So just by naming it, just by saying, I'm stressed out, I can't handle this, or I'm really I don't know how to get out of bed today, I can't do this anymore, then it can transform. Then we can start learning from it. Then things can change. So speaking about it is really key.
Yeah. What else? What other tips would you be sharing with us about preventing from health problem?
Okay, so it is about a masterpiece is about breathing. So if we look at mental health and being and having a healthy mental health, we are able to handle what is coming, what is happening in our life. And we can do that when we are present. And we can do that when we are not overthinking or having fights in our head with our boss that will never happen in real life, but we're having all this mind chatter going on. And a way to do that is with yoga, or is with breathing. So breathing with your mouth closed calms down your nervous system. It makes you less stressed, less cortisol, less adrenaline. And then the body and the mind starts healing. The mind quiets down and the body starts healing. So if you want to, we can do a little breathing exercise right now, or I can tell about it. So
I would love it. I would love it.
So and it's so simple. Sometimes it's breathing. We all breathe all the time, right? And still it can be quite magical. So right now, make sure you sit with a straight back in a comfortable position. Close your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. So breathe in to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Hold your breath. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Good. How are you feeling right now?
I feel I would love to spend more time with this. It's like you feel the pace is slowing down. You feel more space.
Exactly.
And it's weird because it's about, you know, creating space within yourself that is automatically projected outside yourself.
Yes.
And when we were doing it, I got a kind of aha moment where I realized it's not the rhythm around me that is impacting my rhythm, but either vice versa, is how do you perceive the rhythm within my body that makes the way I feel the rhythm. So, you know, it's weird.
Yes. Yeah.
The kind of, if I can slow down my rhythm despite outside everything is spinning and turning and is hectic, actually it really seems that the rhythm outside is lower, you know.
Yep.
I don't know, we have a power. I definitely
Yes.
think that we have the power to influence the rhythm around us, when most of the time we think that we are influenced by the time, that we are squeezed by the time, ruled by the time. But actually, when you stop, you feel you kind of have more power. So it's about embracing your
You're
power,
taking your power. Yes. Yeah.
taking your power back. Yes,
Yeah.
I like that, you know.
That is some really big words from a 1-minute exercise, Elena. And I can tell you what I saw. I saw you so calm. And I know you're a person who are like very energetic, almost always moving. But right now you were so still, like no movement at all. And that looks like calming. That is relaxing, even to look at. And that's what I saw. I saw calmness, and you felt more powerful, present. Like, yeah, you realize that instead of things happening to you all the time, you also have the power to create how you're gonna feel by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should be so much more aware about our power,
Yes.
you know, and claim
We are
it
so
back,
powerful.
own it again, you know.
Yeah.
And definitely this could be a big way to prevent mental health, because if you become so much aware on your strength and talent and on how powerful you can be and how you can impact onto your life consciously and purposefully, then it's about, you know, it's really about you.
True.
It's really about you. So
I really see
embracing.
that mental health is a lot about taking back your power. And when you have that power, you're not afraid. There's no reason to be sad. There's no reason to be anxious, and that is definitely helpful. And luckily, we do have a lot of tools in coaching on how to help with that, which is probably why we both love it so much. Is that it gives us that power. So I know you work with positive intelligence. I have been working a lot with the positive psychology, which positive psychology is actually invented to be preventive of mental health problems, where psychologists were so frustrated that it was all about helping keep people out of the psychiatric hospitals. But wouldn't it be much better if they never had to go in there in the first place? And what can we do to actually prevent that? And what they came up with there was, they realized, even if you have the gene for schizophrenia or bipolar, if it doesn't get triggered by trauma, you don't have to get sick from it. And how do you make sure you don't get triggered? It's by being resilient, it's by being happy, it's by working with your strength, it's about living your life purpose and with your values. And it feels amazing. It feels great to have a positive outlook on life and enjoy your life, do things you're good at, and it prevents mental health at the same time. Isn't that cool?
It is super cool. It is definitely super cool. So what
I
do you
just want to
think?
say again, this is preventive. When you
Yes,
do have mental health
preventive.
problems, it's
Yeah.
it's a different solution.
Different solution. So what is next then? So we really have been thinking about it for so long. We had an initial version of a webinar that we have created together almost 3 years ago. But it was before COVID, you know, and so many things has changed in our professional life. You became a yoga instructor. I became a professional certified coach. Lee has grown so much. And we have been witnessing mental health so strongly in the past 3 years, in our personal life, in our professional life, with our client. So what was called Stay Happy turned into a webinar that we wanted to call Intentional Living. And we would really love to welcome as many people as possible to this webinar by clicking onto this link. I want to check if I can share with you a little bit of the screen let me see, of what is that we want to do, and we are super excited about it.
I see. Setting an intention is a superpower. That is, when you really know how to work with that, focusing on what you want instead of what you don't want. That's a game changer.
Okay, so I guess can you see?
Yes, that looks
amazing.
Great.
So we want to present this free webinar, which title is Intentional Living. It's going to happen the 27th of October at 6 p.m. It's going to be led by me and Rikke. So you have 16 days to sign up for this webinar, and we will be spending together 2 hours checking at this thing that we have spoke about today.
And it's free, right? As far as I know.
Free, of course, it's going to be free of charge. This is going to be the month of awareness. You know, it's the month of cancer awareness. It's the month of mental health awareness. So the more we talk about it, the more it stops to be a taboo, to be authentic, to be in this vulnerable space, the better it can be for the future. So we will be focusing on how to keep mental illness away, how to nurture a positive mind, and how to keep you sane and resilient in a coaching webinar. So it will be experiential, it will be interactive, and it will be me and Rikke waiting for you. So we really hope that you will be joining us soon to share, you know, time with us.
Yeah, it's just so important to we just like we have to exercise, we also have to make sure that we work on our mental health, and that is for everybody, not just for the people with mental illnesses. We all have to take care of our mental health. daily.
Absolutely. As we were saying, you know, we don't want to reach that stage where it's
No.
already too late.
You don't
But
have to reach that rock bottom. It's not necessary. You
absolutely,
can do something now.
So I really want to reinforce again what you have said before. I want to put the number again, if you don't mind telling me the number again, that people
Yeah.
can contact right now if you are in the UAE and you're
Yeah.
feeling any mental health, you need of some mental health urgently. You have some suicidal thought, or you are in this, you know, that way, that circle. Please, what's the number? 04
21
21
92
92.
000.
And it's the Rashid Hospital, right?
It's Rashid Hospital. Yes, emergency room for psychiatric help. And it's a public hospital. So they will take anyone who's calling.
That is amazing. I mean, for people living in Dubai, we know how important is this. So I hope you can all see it now on the screen. And I really want to, you know, now we have Elliot. This is the dog.
Hello.
And, we really hope that as many people as possible will take the time to have a big breath now and just understand how powerful we can be. And even in case you don't feel that powerful as much as you would love to be, you can reach out for help, and you can take the first step. And there's nothing bad, you know. We are receiving a comment from Facebook from Abdullah that says, those who have no means cannot afford to seek for mental health care treatments like therapy, psychiatrist, medication, because not all mental health disease can be treated by yoga, meditation, and other remedies, which however definitely help a lot. Healthcare and education are basic human rights for everyone, and only with strong welfare states we can solve this crisis. And it all comes back to money. If 3% of the world population owns 60% of global wealth, and half of the world lives in poverty, and you know, we understand what the meaning.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's so important, Ghege, you shared this number for the people that are offering this service for free here in the UAE. Definitely, I'm sure that in any other country there's a similar number where you can reach out and get this support. And if it's not coming from doctor, anyhow, just already being in a circle of people who have done this before, who have got this before, who have overcome this already, in a kind of mentoring and supporting group, it's already a big help. And then, you know, even taking onto this command, we can even ask ourselves, if we are in between, you know, this a percentage of population who can afford mental health treatment, maybe we can even look at in our circle and see, well, there's a poor person that is going through mental health issue, or there's a person that doesn't have the same wealthy environment that I can help. It's not always only about food, right? It can also be about giving this health support and allowing people to be healthy, not only in their body but also in their mind. Because I'm totally agree with Abdullah, is definitely a human right. But again, and sorry to underline this, if we don't teach to our children how important it is to protect mental health, how they will fight tomorrow for this right to be protected. We're trying to fight today, and in this day, in this month, so many people around the world are talking about mental health. but we are role models, and we can keep talking about it every day, everywhere we go. What do you think, Rikke?
Well, this is why today is an awareness day. Unfortunately, it's not the solve all mental health issues day, but this is the start. Like when we start talking about it, then yeah, solutions will come up. And yes, it should be right, like food and water and schools and healthcare. Like mental health care should definitely also be a human right that is accessible to all, and where you can get that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
you're
so
doing
much.
your part, Elena. So I really
You
keep on
too.
doing what you do. Yeah.
You too. And I know,
Yeah.
and I know personally Abdullah, and I think that it did my parts, your parts, and the parts of maybe 1,000 people out there, because is a visionary, and is one of the person that I know that love the most, contributing in the social economy, for planet, people, profits, in a respectful way for all the stakeholders involved, all of them. So thank you, Abdullah, for your work. I wish everybody would get to know the fantastic and resourceful knowledge and approach to life that you have. And thank you, Reg. Thank you so much. It's not gonna be last time this month we're gonna meet, so please join us on the 27th of October. Is like 17 days from today, and we are super excited. And Abdullah wrote, "Thanks, girls, love you." We love you too.
Mwah. Great.
Ciao, ciao. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good evening.